Protests in Calabar over the appointment of Asu Okang, member of the People's Democratic Party, as commissioner representing Cross River State on the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission. Kwara State begins distribution of 250,000 bags of rice to the most vulnerable persons in the state. NNPP calls Kwankwaso suspension null and void. Executive expels chieftains over alleged anti-party activities. And outside of Nigeria, Gabon president under house arrest as coup leaders meet for next step. Algeria proposes a 6-month transition plan to the Nigerian military rulers. On Politics HQ tonight, we will be discussing Nyesom Wike's inclusion or being the toast of the APC and the PDP campaign councils. And of course, our guest tonight, we have Luqman Adelagun Odumosu. He is a member of the PDP, is a House of Assembly candidate in Lagos State, Nigeria. We have Umar, Sani, former spokesperson for the People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council. He joins us from Abuja, Nigeria. And Mohammed Saidu Etsu, who is an APC chieftain, and he joins us via video link from Niger State in North Central Nigeria. Stay with us. Politics HQ will be right back. The ruling All Progressives Congress has denied it has named a newly appointed FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as member of its Governorship Campaign Council in Bayelsa State. Wike, who is a member of the People's Democratic Party, was recently named a member of the opposition party's campaign council and is currently also in the ruling party's presidential cabinet. Imagine that. Now, his current political status remains a source of controversy among political stakeholders around Nigeria, as he remains the prime example of President Tinubu's government of unity. Now, on Politics HQ tonight, we have with me, as we earlier said, Luqman Adelagun Odumosu, a PDP House of Assembly candidate in Lagos State, Nigeria. Luqman, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
We have Umar Sani, former spokesperson at the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Abuja. Good evening to you, sir. And of course, Mohammed Saidu Etsu of the All Progressives Congress. He's in Niger State. Gentlemen, it's quite an interesting development in the politics of Nigeria. The two leading parties, the APC and the PDP, all engaging in a tug of war, all right, for one man. Nyesom Wike is the rope, and they're pulling him. You're aware that a list surfaced in the Nigerian media on Tuesday, purportedly being the All Progressives Congress Campaign Council list for the forthcoming governorship elections in Bayelsa State and other states. That's November 11, and it had Nyesom Wike's name on it. Hours later, the APC disowned the list, saying it's alien to them, it's strange to them, it's foreign to them. Now, do you see this as this response or reply or rebuttal by the APC as some sort of damage control? Let me start with you, Luqman Adelagun Odumosu. Do you think this is some damage control by the APC, denying this list?
Good evening, and once again, thank you for having me. I think it was actually shocking when the news came out and everybody saw on the party's list for the governorship campaign committee. And quite surprising that APC quickly came out to denounce the allegation and said it was a mistake. And apparently it wasn't even true that it was on the list in the first place. Whatever the case may be, I guess in the next few days we will find out. This is Nigeria. Things always come out, and then there's always announcement or people didn't refute, claiming that it wasn't so. But in the next few days, I know we will hear the whole story, and we'll know where to take it from there.
All right, Mohammed Etsu, what's your take on this? Some will call it backtracking by the APC. Is this, in your opinion, you see this as some sort of damage control? The party had to do a U-turn, or you really believe that they didn't have this list? It came out of nowhere.
Thank you very much for having me. I think Wike case in appearing in the both list of the APC and PDP, and his influence in the South-South politics should not be overemphasized. And the key thing is here, the both parties need Wisdom Wike, mostly the APC, in which is serving now as a minister, and APC needs to win election in Bielsa, and we need people like Wisdom Wike to give us a support so that we can take over Bielsa from the PDP. And appearing in that list is not a surprising thing, because Bielsa and Rivers are joint states in which I believe that the influence of Wisdom Wike will give APC a landslide victory in Rivers. And appearing in PDP list, I think PDP should know that Wisdom Wike serving APC government, they should give him that benefit of doubt and make sure that they understand that Wisdom Wike is going to work for APC in that state election that is coming up in November.
All right.
But you know, everybody is now a beautiful bride that everybody is dragging to his side. But the conscience and the conscience of Wisdom Wike will also tells him that today is serving APC government.
All right.
And he must make sure that APC succeed in everything that is doing in subsequent elections.
All right. Umar Sani, former spokesman of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, your party is squarely in the middle of this storm. Months ago, the PDP had released its own list. Now, Wisdom Wike has been described as a beautiful bride, and indeed by many, including Mohammed, Etsu, who just spoke now, the beautiful bride of Nigerian politics. Umar, in your opinion, how influential and important would you say Minister Wisdom Wike really is in the scheme of things of Nigerian politics today, especially now that he is no longer a governor of a state?
Let us not underscore the fact that although he is not a governor, but again, he is a governor by default. He is a governor of the FCT, even though FCT is not a state, but can also be classified as a state. Wisdom Wike normally will be attending two meetings. He will attend the Federal Executive Council meeting, made up of ministers, and the president, vice president, and some other key government functionaries. He will also be attending the National Economic Council, where governors attend the meeting. He will attend on behalf of the FCT. So he is having said that, he will also. I will also say that the Wisdom Wike's importance and relevance cannot be underscored, because he was the one who put the governor of Rivers State, and so he is controlling two very strategic places. He's controlling FCT and he's also controlling Rivers State. So to underscore him is not an easy task, but nevertheless, if you take a look at what we are saying about inclusiveness in both lists, I think that is by default. I don't think APC would have done that, because if you take a look at what he said when he was sworn in, when they asked him whether he was going to which flag will he be wearing in his office, he said he was going to be wearing give him any flag, he will wear it. But the truth of the matter is, we've seen that he wears only Nigerian flag. There is no APC flag. And he also, in his defense, has said that before he even took the ministerial position, to be fair to him, he has asked the permission of the national chairman, he has asked the permission of his state chairman, he has asked the permission of the zonal chairman, and they have all given him the go-ahead. So the fact remains that the man still insists that he's a member of the PDP. However, for the simple fact that the APC government were the ones that gave him the position, they will have assumed, even without thinking, that since he's their member and he has worked for them at the presidential election, the onus is on him to also continue to work for them in subsequent elections, including Bielsa. So putting his name in that list would have been the natural thing to do until when they discover that it is a grave error and other people are claiming him, before they will now try to say, distance themselves from the list and say, no, we are not the ones that did it. Thank you.
Very interesting. Yeah, as it stands, the official position of the All Progressives Congress is that they never released any governorship campaign council list. Whatever came out was not from them. And therefore, Nyesom Wike is not on their list. But I'll go back to you, Luqman Adelagun. Nyesom Wike, when the APC is ready, finally ready to give Nigerians a list of members of their governorship election campaign councils, when they're ready, would you advise that they include Nyesom Wike's name on the list? Considering, the important role he played in helping in the emergence of Bola Tinubu as the president of Nigeria in the last election?
We all understand the importance on how well versed His Excellency Nyesom Wike is in local politics and what he has done and what he has done in the past in his state and other states when it comes to election matters. But in this situation, personally, I'm speaking for myself now, personally, I wouldn't have included his name in the list because we all saw what he did in the general election for the presidential All Progressive Congress. And if we are going to go into an election where we need, which is in a state which belongs to our party, which currently belongs to our party, and we want to maintain that state, I don't think a person of Wike's stature should be put in our election campaign team. Because it's like you wanting to show your enemies or your opponents exactly what you're planning on doing when you're having somebody with character or with stature in your or in your campaign organization. What you say, what can be said, who can trust him, can actually believe that he's actually going to work for the party. Or maybe the two parties are actually playing a game at the moment because maybe both of them can't really trust him. So they just play, we're going to put him on our list. The other parties who are going to put him on their list. And then it causes all this confusion that is causing at the moment. But personally, by myself, I wouldn't have put him on that list because I wouldn't really trust him to do it.
All right. So it's an issue of trust. Mohammed Etsu, Luqman, who is a member of the People's Democratic Party, I must point out, your counterpart from the other party, he's saying that now that the APC has, disowned that list, he is advising them not to include Nyesom Wike on a future list that they will release at a yet to be determined date. Mohammed, are you of that view? That it will be unwise for the APC to include Nyesom Wike in their list to avoid any sort of dragging between them and the PDP?
I think the strategy of releasing that list at the first time to put Nyesom Wike in the list is like we've done a little bit mistake as a party. But to me, and to Nyesom Wike himself, he knows that he's going to work for APC in that election. There's no point of even putting his name on the list because he knows that he's serving in APC government, even though it's a government of unity called by President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But to his own conscience, the loss for PDP has reduced to like 20% in his heart. The remaining thing he's doing is just managing himself in the party.
Mohammed Etsu, are you there? Welcome back. You're still watching Politics HQ right here on News Central TV. We have our guest tonight, Luqman Adelagun Odumosu. He's of the People's Democratic Party. He was once a House of Assembly candidate in Lagos State, Nigeria. Umar Sani is a former spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council. He joins us from Abuja, Nigeria. I think it's good that Umar is here because we're talking about campaign councils. And of course, one member of the APC is actually a chieftain of the party in Niger State, Mohammed, Saidu, Etsu. So it's finally balanced. I'm sure Mohammed is strong enough to take on 2 PDP members on this program. All right. Umar, Mohammed Etsu, before we went on the break, you were making a point. So I'll allow you to quickly, if you can hear me, conclude what you were saying before I go over to Umar.
Here clearly is that PDP itself knows that Nyesom Wike supports. They shouldn't expect it at all, because what has happened in the last election and last general election, they should know that Nyesom Wike doesn't have anything to take with PDP again. Now it's now serving in APC government, and serving in APC government, the election in Bayelsa State is adjourned to his own state, which is River State, in which the Nyesom Wike influence will give APC a resounding victory and put him on that list. We shouldn't have just bring our bullet out at this time. We should have allowed him to do his mathematics before we even put out the list. But giving him or put him in that list doesn't stop anything. People should know that Nyesom Wike is going to work for APC for the victory of Bayelsa in November.
But I mean, would it be fair for you to include a man, Umar, I'm sorry, Mohammed, would it be fair for you to include a politician who is still a card-carrying member of another party, only to enlist him and recruit him to campaign for your party? Isn't that sort of a disrespect to the other parties? Like maybe in football, where you are talking to a player that belongs to another club without the permission of the club when he's still playing for them.
Nyesom Wike is a card-carrying member, but it's serving in APC government today. Had with some journalists when he assumed office. They asked him a question. He said he's now on a neutral gear. He can fix. He's telling you that his heart is whosoever can. He can be able to give him a result in what he wants. And election, anybody that knows politics very well who knows that Nyesom Wike heart is not with him.
Okay. Mohammed, let me quickly move to Umar. Thank you, Umar, because of time. Let me quickly move to Umar. I think you were saying that the party ought to include Nyesom Wike in their campaign list as APC because of his importance in the scheme of things, whilst Luqman of the PDP is saying you can't include him in our list. But Umar, Sani, what's your take on this now, on the fact that the People's Democratic Party is still including Nyesom Wike on its lists, even inviting him to its meetings? There's one he was invited to, he didn't go. His successor governor in River State, Simfubara, didn't attend. PDP is still inviting Nyesom Wike to its meetings, including him on its list, and is yet to expel him from the party, despite the fact that you have a federal high court ruling that allows the PDP to exercise its disciplinary powers over him. And last time I checked, like some people have said, you look at the PDP constitution, he's flouted some things. It could be argued that he's flouted. I'm not saying, some people are saying. So what's your take on this, that the PDP, despite all these things, despite that court ruling, is yet to expel this man? Umar.
There is no grounds for him to be expelled. The reason why I say this is because most people are not aware of what is happening on the ground until when he came out to say them. For instance, the national chairman was feigning ignorance. He was not showing it. But when Wike said, I took permission from the national chairman ought to have come out to say he either took permission or he didn't. Yes or no, but we have palpable silence as it is now. And for the fact that Simfubara has gone ahead to even take the position of the deputy chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, further shows that they are consolidated within the PDP River State, and which Nyesom Wike is there. Now, the issue of the list is the overriding issue. Now, that in the list, I think APC spoke their mind too early. They want him to work for them. and so they felt putting him on a list will even make it much more. But they were supposed to have been discreet about it, because everybody knows that he will still help the APC, work for them in Bayelsa. But bringing it out now clearly exposes the plan. It shows that, yes, while he is, claiming to be PDP, he is actually scheming to work for the success of the APC in Bayelsa State, and not even in Bayelsa State, in some other states where there are rerun elections across the country, Imo State and Kogi State. Now, having said that, again, you want to ask whether Nyesom Wike is representing the PDP in the Bola Tinubu administration. I don't think that is the case. Bola Tinubu has not extended any olive branch to the PDP. He has not. There was never a letter or an invitation for members of the PDP to join his own cabinet.
But you heard Mohammed saying that Wike said he took the permission of the party chairman. And so his party is giving him his blessings.
What I'm saying is, there is no letter extending. He said he wrote to and the man said, go ahead. The man has not given any letter. So it's a communication between him, Wike, and the party, and not a communication between the APC government or the government of Tinubu with the PDP. Now, if a member of a political party is writing to his own party, it's an internal affair. It's an internal affair. We are talking about the external affair. If Tinubu wants to give Labour Party an appointment, he will not go to the person that he wants to go and give appointment and say, okay, I'm giving you the appointment based on the fact that you are a member of Labour Party and I'm taking somebody from Labour. No, he has to write to the chairman of Labour Party, the national chairman, who will now, nominate him and send his name that is the normal procedure. To send his name.
All right.
Now, if that procedure is not followed and another procedure is followed, then it is not from the party. It is something that is personal.
All right. Well, Mohammed, that's the answer for you. The party has not blessed Nyesom Wike to be part of your government of national unity. Before we go, I'd have a final question for our guests, and I'm going to ask all of them the question one after the other. Luqman, Adelagun, Odumosu, final question to you. How do you see this tug of war for Nyesom Wike between the APC and the PDP playing out in the end? Will he at some point be compelled to say, hey, I'm choosing a side to officially belong to? Or do you think he's going to play this game? At what point does it end? Luqman.
I think any party lines now is actually putting themselves in great danger, because you need to be sure of the person that you're going to be working with, and you need to be sure of his loyalty and his total commitment to the task ahead of him. As a PDP member, and I'm speaking for myself now, as a PDP member, I would not really want him to be part of the campaign committee. If there's any other place where they can put him where it will be useful, they can find it there. But with what needs to go down in Bayelsa, I don't think he should be part of it. I still believe PDP is going to retain that state because it's a PDP state. And I think we have enough governors from the South to help us actualize this victory. But I don't really want to spend too much time talking about Wike, because he's becoming such a nuisance in the polity of the country at the moment that we need to go back and think about what it is that we're actually practicing in
gentlemen,
our political space in Nigeria at the moment.
All right, gentlemen, we have to leave it at that. I want to thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed your analysis on the program tonight. Luqman, Adelagun, Odumosu, House of Assembly candidate of the PDP in Lagos, Nigeria. Umar, Sani, former spokesperson of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Abuja, Nigeria, as well, is joining us from. And Mohammed, Saidu, Etsu, an APC chieftain in Niger State, who says that Wike should be in the campaign council, despite what the others on this program from the other party think. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. All right.
Thank you very much.